Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 8, Episode 14, title Holding Out for a Hero, air date February 8th, 2011, and a synopsis is
Brooke, Quinn, and Haley decide to use their talents for the greater good. Meanwhile, Julian takes on a directing job and helps out a friend, and Chase mentors Chuck. So, kind of out of nowhere, Brooke has this superhero. Well, not completely because she watched the movie, but, never came up before about liking superheroes.
Well,
and
I think it's because she's home all day.
Mm-hmm.
Because, there were like I used to not really be too much into, reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in between jobs, because I had quit, I had apparently, too much time in my hands. And so, I, binged, The Real Housewives. And it was like, whoa, all this time, I just thought it was so stupid. But here I am watching it. So I think, especially if you are in that situation of, don't have that, self-confidence and all that, and something happened to you, you're losing your job and probably, your livelihood, kind of, you know what I mean? Kind of like your purpose to go to work every day. But I think once you lose that, it's like, what do I do now? And so for her, she's sort of in this, I don't know, a little slump that she's in. So I think for her, for me, it was, reality TV. For her, it's superheroes. Because at first I was like, well, they never mentioned that. But then I was like, wait a minute, that happened to me too. I wasn't into it either until then. And so I do think, you can become addicted to something.
Right.
But you know what I noticed in this scene? When she rolls over to Julian in bed, and I saw his hand.
Why? What was it doing?
No ring.
Oh.
I was like, somebody on set was not doing their job, because if they were, they would have made sure that Julian had his ring on. Because that's not good, especially because they're newlyweds. You would think, of course, he'd have his wedding ring on.
Mm-hmm.
I could see if, you've been married a long time. It's you might not always wear it, or, you might accidentally take it off somewhere. What, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he's just sleeping. So, and he's always wanted to get married. Remember when he was little, he dreamed of his wedding and everything. And so for me, I'm like, he's not the kind of guy that's going to just take his ring off every night to go to sleep. Because Nathan never did.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I don't think Julian would either. That's why I was like, wait a minute, what? Because at first I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe, because there are people that take off their ring to take a shower. Well, I thought maybe it was one of those weird things of he doesn't want to lose it, so he takes it off in bed. Weird, but okay. And then I was like, no, not who Julian is. So yeah, I'm just going with the fact that somebody did not do their job on set.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I noticed. And then I was just too focused on the hand.
Well, I was too focused on Brooke's hand because she punches Julian in the chest and wakes him up.
I did, because it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had to rewatch it just to laugh again.
Yeah. And it certainly had a real impact too. And apparently this wasn't the first time she did this either.
I feel like she hits him a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So apparently she's been rewatching probably maybe every day at least the Kick-Ass movie, because that was popular back then. And
I never heard of it.
Oh yeah, it's just about superheroes. I never watched it, but yeah. The Chloe, I think Chloe Montez is her name. I don't know. That was like one of her first films. Um, Grace Martez, yeah. She's the little girl that I think Brooke and the other girls bring up too, because she had that mouth on her. She was swearing.
Mm.
But and then he has to go to work for his local commercial that he's doing for the College of Tree Hill. And she doesn't want him to go. She wants him to stay. So he suggests, doing this or that for her. And she just doesn't want them to become a boring old couple. And he says, she can never be part of a boring couple when she's fighting in her sleep.
So they did not go on a honeymoon then.
As far as we know, no.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like the couple on this show that would go to a resort and stuff would be these two.
I mean, they took off in the truck, so I don't know where they went. Maybe a hotel for the night. I don't know.
Yeah, but in Tree Hill, like, I'm just saying, like, I could definitely see them going away for like 2 weeks somewhere to like Italy or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The Bahamas, something.
Yeah, unless they couldn't afford it or something, maybe, or we'll do it later on. I don't know. Yeah, because some couples like wait for a while when it's like a good time, or maybe, just better.
Yeah, but for these two, it's kind of a perfect time because Brooke is not working.
Right, but Julian is, so
Barely,
maybe that's why.
barely.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't take that long to make a commercial anyhow either, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then Millie had made breakfast for Mouth since it's his first day back working on television.
This is just so sad.
Why?
Because she apparently likes him a little too much. Like, she likes him more than he likes her, seems like, because she wants to be full in a relationship and he's got one foot out.
Right.
And the thing is, they say for like women,
Hmm.
you're supposed to marry someone who likes you a little more than you like them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And for me, I don't think that'll ever happen, but okay.
Yeah, yeah, for some reason Mouth wants to go slow, but then it seems like most guys do anyhow, so. And
Not Nathan.
right.
But it is weird that Mouth is being hesitant. Like, you basically lost her to that one guy from Halloween. How many more times do you need her to like go out with somebody before you realize like you should be with her?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that kind of thing of like, what?
Right.
Just be with her. Gosh.
Maybe it's partly because he doesn't feel much confidence in himself since his career is kind of starting from rock bottom. Since he
Well,
went from
but he's been there for like 2 years. He's been at rock bottom.
well, I guess because it's not the news station, it's commercial. So maybe just because it doesn't, it's not really where he wants to be when it comes to behind the camera.
Yeah, but it's doing something. Like, you're still making money.
Right. And they never really show what he did until the very end. Like before that, like, was he like Julian's assistant or?
I know, because when he was following him around, it seemed like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and trying to fix things. Yeah. Yeah. So but still, anyhow, Millie's proud of him. And then she mentioned she's gonna head home, so that's how we learned that she doesn't live with Mouth, and just spends the night sometimes. And even Skills brings it up, like, how many days is he gonna wait until she can just move back in?
Yep, it's like he's torturing her for some odd reason.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so basically he's teasing Mouth, like, is he gonna start from basically the beginning and go on dates with her, trying to figure out her favorite things, etc. And Mouth tells Skills he shouldn't be giving out relationship advice because he was the one apparently proposing to Deb on the third date. Do we see that? Or
I don't think so.
I know they brought up kids, but I never mentioned marriage. So that was kind of random to throw in. And then Skills takes a piece of bacon from Mouse's plate in response to that. And then Quinn is looking at the photo she took at the wedding.
So this was funny because she was saying how she got a job offer. Well, a few job offers.
Mm-hmm.
And Clay was like, "Oh, you mean the pictures I took?"
Right.
And it was funny. And he was like, "'Cause all these ones," because then it was funny because he's like, "So which ones did you submit? Because I think those are mine."
Right.
Like, oh my God. It was funny.
Yeah, and she came back that it was only easy for him to do it because she put the camera in idiot mode.
Yeah, and he goes, "There's no need to be nasty."
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
Yeah, and then she suggests that they do something fun today, like bungee jumping.
Like, where did that come from?
Mm-hmm. And of course, Clay doesn't want to do that.
You know what I thought weird though?
Hmm.
So they were saying bungee jumping, and I was just like, isn't it a little too close to what him and Sarah did?
Oh, jumping off the bridge or whatever.
Yes. Because I was thinking about that. I'm like, the parallel in that, I guess, of like
Mm-hmm.
the fact that they jumped off a bridge together. And then here she wants to go bungee jumping. And I'm just like,
Right.
I know they're two different things, but they're also in the similar.
Yeah, I usually jump off a bridge for both. Yeah.
So I just thought that was weird because I'm like, I don't know. Wouldn't you have just said something else besides that?
Right. Maybe she just wasn't thinking. Yeah.
Because he's
And
already done that.
yeah, maybe she thought of skydiving, but then she knew that Brooke and Julian did that, and she thought maybe they should do something different, and that's what she came up with. I mean, they could go rock climbing, maybe that would be an option. It's still high up.
There you go. That's what they should have done.
And then we go to Kellerman's class, and he insults another student, so it's not just Nathan, named Johnny, played by Quentin Aaron, and calling him names, about his appearance and all that, and stupid. And apparently, he's wanting the student to like guess the questions ahead of time so he can answer them. And then I guess Nathan was exaggerating this part because we see Kellerman unzip his pants in front of them. So apparently that was from Animal House, I think, because Clay said Nathan was quoting Animal House. I'm guessing that's what the scene was from. So I didn't get that reference. Did you?
No, I didn't watch it, but it was gross.
Yeah. And then, so Nathan is just telling Clay about his professor and everything, how he just loves humiliating the students. And Clay reminds him that, didn't he take the class because it's tough? And Nathan says he doesn't have a problem with that. It's just him being a bully, which is kind of the theme for this episode here.
Well, yeah. And this professor definitely is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Clay tells Nathan he has to deal with it or else he can't be an agent because it's too late to switch classes.
That was my thing. Like, come on, Nathan. You took, I guess you only needed one class. So you take this hard ass class. You've been out of college for a long time now. So you take this hard class and all to end up with this horrible teacher, which that one kid did tell you don't do.
Mm-hmm.
And he did anyway, and then now you have got to deal with him. So like, this is your own fault why you're in his class. So you can't get upset at it. You chose it. It's not like the school said, well, since you're signing up late, this is the only class that you can take, because you would think everybody else would be picking the other one. So I was like, that's what it should have been, of like, you're kind of being forced into it. Then I could see why you'd be complaining, but not when you chose this professor in this class.
Right, and he's been having a hard time since the beginning. So if he
when he
wanted to
to him.
switch, when he wanted to switch, he had plenty of time before. So because I don't know about that university, but there's a certain time limit that you can switch classes, whether it's maybe like within the first month or first couple weeks, it's something. So
yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's why they said it here, but I was just, but again, stop complaining because you did it.
And then Alex goes to the studio where Mia tells her Chase isn't there and she has an attitude. And then adds the ceasefire is off because she kissed him during the truce. And Alex also adds she slept with him.
Do you like Mia's rudeness?
No, because we already know that Alex really is over Chase, and Mia's still kind of like putting her guard up.
But
Trying.
also, yes, Alex may have kissed him, but you
Mhm.
slept with him.
Right, and at the wedding in public, yeah.
So, like, who has, I guess, the upper hand right now? Mia. So, like, why are you being rude to Alex when she's not the one that slept with him? You did.
Mhm. Yeah, and everybody knows it, yeah.
So, what are you so mad about? You guess won. Not that he's a prize, but like, I guess Mia, you won. So tone it down. Like, I don't know, she's just annoying in this episode.
Mhm. Yeah, so at least Alex told Mia that she thinks Chase became less attractive when she saw him in a limo with her and insults her parents as well. And then she mentions how she wants to talk to Haley about recording a song in the studio. And Mia laughs and asks Alex since when does she even sing? And Alex points out that she's only there for Haley. I talk to the greasy rag when you can talk to the mechanic. And Mia tells Alex that Haley thinks what she thinks. So Alex, accepts that and says, oh, they'll just wait and see.
That's annoying though, to be like, basically, she's on my side. It's like, she's also, I guess, owner or part owner in this label. I highly doubt she's going to go off what you say
Mm-hmm.
because business talks.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's about the money.
Mm-hmm. And then even though Alex doesn't dress up like a superhero with the other girls, we still see like a comment shot of her in front of the label's artwork logo. And then after the theme, Julian is catching mouth up on things when he gets there. And apparently things are going well with the actor. And Mouth is just happy to be there to do something helpful besides for cleaning bathrooms. And yeah, so the actor doesn't know his lines, even though it's a commercial, so you wouldn't even think there's a lot to even memorize. But Mouth says he'll handle it. And then Chase serves a drink to a woman at the bar who tells him if she didn't hate men right now, he'd be in trouble. And Chase agrees that men suck. So this was Chuck's mom here, right?
Think so?
Yeah, I think. Because she looked familiar, I just can't remember. But we haven't seen her since like season 5, I think, when Haley got into that fight with her at the school.
Yeah. And, she's following up on the fact that she is an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm. And then Mia pops by to see if things are okay between her and Chase because they haven't talked since the wedding, which is probably part of the reason why she's being so mean to Alex as well, like thinking she's losing him to her. And Chase says, of course, they're okay. They just had slutty wedding sex that didn't mean anything. So that's what's been going on. Again, like Mouth and Millie, they're both on opposite ends here of the...
Yeah, but I think with these two, it really is nothing.
Right. But they're still...
But also, like, talk to them. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you both did it.
Yeah, nobody's communicating, so they're all on different pages of each other. Yeah. And then she can still see something's wrong with Chase, so he says that he started this job because Owen needed his help, and it felt good knowing he was making a difference. Now all he does is help people get drunk. And Mia tells him if he wants to help people, there's always somebody who needs it. He could volunteer like Haley did. And then Chase throws out he could be a big brother because he always liked playing with kids, and Mia warns him not to say that out loud.
Yeah, because it was funny.
Yeah. And then Brooke is playing with Julian's superhero figurines. And that's when Haley walks in, and Brooke's happy to see her because she's bored. And she asks if she can work at the crisis center with her. They could solve problems, like a problem-solving duo.
Yeah, and then Haley said she doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, she just plays on her phone. Yeah. And then Brooke tells Haley that she knows what would make her feel better. They can watch her favorite movie at the moment, Kick Ass. And Haley is shocked by the language of the little girl, like I said before. And then Haley wishes she could help people at the crisis center, like in the movie, because the people ask for help and they actually help them. Whereas in reality, at the crisis center, she's only allowed to listen. So then Quinn rushes to Alex's hotel room because she had texted her, making it sound like an emergency. But Alex says she didn't say it was an emergency. She just wanted to talk. And Quinn is relieved, but says an emergency sounded more exciting. And then that's when Alex.
So she says the only reason why she invited Quinn over was because she needed Quinn to ask Haley if she could record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I mean, which is understandable because she's not exactly like really close to Haley.
mm-hmm.
But I mean, I do think she should have asked herself though.
Right. Yeah, so Mia's just in her way. And Quinn thinks that Alex wants to break into the record label at night to secretly record. She just, like Brooke, wants to do something adventurous.
Yeah,
exciting.
again, yeah, kind of out of nowhere. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess all the trauma. But yeah, and Alex is funny because she's just like, no, I mean, just talk to her.
Right, the easy and simple way.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alex says if she wants to make things more exciting, they can pretend Mia's an evil villain that they have to thwart. And then Quinn says she'll talk to Haley for her, but she doubts Mia would mind when she realizes how much this means to her. And then Nathan is back in Kellerman's class where he's giving Johnny a hard time again. And again, he's making fun of the student's appearance, saying that the only question he knows the answer to is, do you want dessert? And that's when Nathan speaks up and says, when everyone know the answer to that question, it's usually yes. And then Kellerman dismisses the class after that comment from Nathan. And Johnny tells Nathan, thanks for helping him out with Kellerman, and then invites him for a study group with the other guys. And since he's new, it's going to be at his place. And then Chase gets to the house of where the boy he's going to be a big brother to lives.
Yep, and it's Chuck.
Yep.
And so Chuck does this whole thing again of like wanting to punch people out of nowhere. Like, it's obnoxious. So if he punches you, does that mean he likes you?
No, it means he's trying to avoid talking about his feelings. It's a distraction. So, but he does recognize Chase as Jamie's friend, the bartender. So, of course, Chase corrects him as the bar manager.
Yeah, and he's like, whatever.
So, Chase asks him about going up in a plane with him. And they're just going to fly around.
Well, then he makes fun of it, Chase's hat.
Yeah, pilot hat. And Chase was nice to get another one for Chuck, but Chuck, knocks it out of his hand. And then, Chase realizes that mentoring Chuck is going to be hard. And then Haley is getting her mail when Brooke scares her with a superhero outfit she made them.
Yeah, and she's like, nope, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, Evan tries to coax her into doing it by giving her her own little theme song. But after Haley puts the outfit on, she tells Brooke she doesn't like it. And Brooke tells her how can she say no to wearing them if she hasn't heard her idea yet of what to do. So Haley's open to it, but then Brooke tells her they should be superheroes, and Haley says no again. And then Brooke reminds Haley that she likes helping people while she likes designing clothes, and Haley isn't going for it though still. So Brooke tells her she was the one who said she wanted to help people at the crisis center, like Kick-Ass, and they can use it to find people who need help, like their own personal bat phone. She's really getting into this. And then Haley reminds Brooke that she's reading that superheroes have superpowers, and Brooke says that's true, but she is feisty, and then points to Haley's stomach and says she's pregnant, and nobody's going to hit a pregnant woman. It's like her shield.
Well, that's true.
But Haley still can't believe that she wants her to use her unborn child as a shield, and Brooke tells Haley she needs her as a sidekick, and Haley says no way, because if anything, they're going to be a duo partnership. And Brooke is thrilled to hear that. But then Quinn had stepped into the room at this point.
Yep. So then they bring her along. And my thing is with this is like, Brooke is like, oh, got you one too. And I'm like, if this was just about you two, Brooke and Haley, how do you already have one made up for Quinn? I'm like, that makes no sense.
Yeah. This show has a history of showing Brooke can sew things together in like 2 minutes.
But it was just weird because she's like, oh, basically like join us. And it's like, what? Like, I thought it was literally just the two of you.
And then Millie visits Mouth on set to give him his lunch. And Mouth is happy that she did because Skills ate his breakfast this morning. And Millie asks if Skills is going to be back in Tree Hill for long. So is Skills in California again? Or
I have no idea. Wait, wasn't he living with Junk and Fergie?
yeah, that's what I thought too, but I don't know. She said in Tree Hill, so I don't know. But Mouth tells her he doesn't know, but Skills asks him if they were going to move back in together, but he said they're taking things slow. And then he questions if that was the right answer, and even though she feels differently, Millie tells him that he was right to say that. So she's hiding her feelings about that to him. And then she tells him she's going to let him go get back to work, obviously hurt as she walks away, but make sure to leave his lunch for him. And
Well,
Julian can
I
even see
will.
she's upset.
I will say, like, yeah, if somebody is rejecting you like that, yeah, you're not gonna like say much to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I was happy that Julian picked up on that cue from her because Mouth couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Mouth realizes the mistake that he made by basically telling her he doesn't want to live with her.
Yeah, which I mean, even like a next week, it's like, isn't that kind of still too soon? Because it's always going to be in your head of like, remember, you don't want to live with me.
Mm-hmm. And then Quinn asks Brooke and Haley what's going on with the superhero outfits. So it was funny because she said that Brooke said that her and Haley are the newest superheroes in Tree Hill, and Quinn says she didn't know that they had superheroes to begin with. So Brooke, threatens Quinn, saying that she's either with them or against them. And Haley tries telling Quinn Brooke is kidding, but Quinn says she's with them, more in it than Haley is. So Brooke wants Haley to go to the crisis center to find somebody that could help.
Okay, for Haley, this didn't work the first time with Aaron, so let's do it again.
Right. Yeah, I thought that too.
Like, this is supposed to be private. You can't be telling everybody what's going on with somebody.
Mm-hmm. And it's basically stalking, trying to figure out who the person is and everything.
Yeah, because they're getting where they live, their,
Identity.
yeah, their name. Like, that's just a lot.
Right. And then Brooke leaves and walks to the door, and her cape gets stuck in between the doors, which was funny because
that was funny.
Yeah, because it reminded me of The Incredibles with Edna Mode being against capes. And then Chase brings Chuck to the airport where he flies planes and asks Chuck to guess why he became a big brother. And Chuck says it's because he has no friends. And then again, this is where he punches him for the first time, not again, and yelling Chuck at the same time when he does so. Apparently it's a new thing he invented, and he calls it getting chucked. And Chase suggests they do high fives instead, but Chuck says high fives are lame, of course. And then Chase tries to bond with him, telling him that when he was his age, he always wanted to be a pilot. And Chuck says he always wants someone to be his pilot because that's what his dad says. If you're really important, somebody will fly you. And then tells Chase, guess he's not that important, and then proceeds to check him again. And then Haley tells Quinn that she can't be serious about doing the superhero thing. And Quinn tells Haley that she's the one who keeps checking herself out in her superhero costume. And Haley says that doesn't mean she's going to run around playing make-believe. And Quinn says it'll be fun. Plus, ever since her running with Katie, she needs some excitement. And Haley says she could use some help.
I mean, I understand that part.
Mm-hmm. And Quinn says that maybe she could be their first mission. And Haley says there's not going to be a mission, and asks her sister why is she there anyways. And that reminds Quinn about asking Haley about Alex recording at the studio.
I like when Haley was like, I'll talk to Mia.
Right.
Because she's running people out of the studio. It's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's only running one person out, but
right,
it's still enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's somebody. And Quinn asks Haley, doesn't it feel good to help someone? Almost super good, calling her Super Haley. And then Haley points out why would she use her real name. And Quinn tells Haley that's why they need her. Her brain is her superpower. And then at the study group, Johnny asks the guys why Kellerman is such an asshat, and then asks Nathan, as the newest member of the Kellerman sex club, perhaps he'd like to answer this. And then Chase brings Chuck home and asks if he had fun today, and Chuck tells him to stop asking him that, but still invites Chuck for dinner. But Chase tells him he can't because he has plans already. And Chuck asks if he has a date and asks if he has a girlfriend. And Chase says it's complicated right now. So Chuck says his dad said that that's just a fancy way of saying he's a loser.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, he is playing both women.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he likes to do, I guess.
Right. But Chuck doesn't know that. And then he says that he hopes tomorrow isn't as boring as today is. And then Chuck's Chase one last time, and Chase quietly says he hates that kid while trying to catch his breath. So it is kind of concerning how it seems like most of Chuck's thoughts and opinions about things are based on his dad's opinions,
Yeah.
Like he's not truly answering Chase's, questions to things. He's just saying what his dad thinks of it, of the topic.
Well, he keeps trying to make his dad the hero.
Yeah. Because we know that that's the complete opposite of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the crisis center, Haley draws a logo bat on a sticky note placed on the phone when she gets a call. It's about a girl getting bullied at school, and she just wanted someone to talk to. And
again, it doesn't mean you go after people.
Right. Yeah, she hangs up after Haley tries to help her out, talking about like a trusted adult about this. And but it is really bad. They made a hate page about her on Facebook.
All because she's adopted?
Yeah. And then somehow they took that to call her the trans slur word as well, which we found out later what that is. But being the adopted part didn't make sense until later on. And then Haley's frustrated that she couldn't help that girl, and is even singing the bat theme after hanging up. So she's starting to get into the superhero thing. And then Chuck walks outside to find Chase outside his house. And he asks if he was trying to peek out his window or peek in his window. And Chase says he wasn't. And he reminds Chuck that they had plans today. And Chuck says that guys can, his dad said that guys can flake on each other. It's no big deal. And Chase says he wouldn't do something like that. So that right there tells you that Chuck's dad flakes on him constantly and told him that it's okay because they're men,
Yeah. Well,
If
and
they
you know
don't-
what's sad, though, is like the only now role model he has kind of is now
Mhm.
Jace.
Right.
That's sad.
Yeah, but better him than nobody. And then, Chase says he wouldn't do something like that and he should tell his mom where they're going, but Chuck tells him he doesn't need to before walking to the car. So I'm guessing Chuck made him, like stopped him from going inside because maybe his mom was passed out from being drunk too inside the house.
Yeah, that's what it looked like on his face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's just trying to make sure Chase, he was inviting him to dinner, but that was a different story. At this moment, he's trying to keep him out of the house. And then Haley gets to Brooke's where Brooke and Quinn are playing with cooking tools. This looks like a little childish, but Haley tells them about the girl that called about or to the crisis center last night, and she thinks it can help her. And then that's when Brooke shows her designs as herself as Bedazzle.
Yeah, and then Quinn is gonna be Shutterbug.
Yeah.
And then they have another name for Haley, and that's Baby Mama.
Yeah, that was a bad name there for her.
Yeah.
Because the other ones made sense, but yeah.
Well, and they were cooler.
Yeah, and plus when Haley's not pregnant anymore, then that really, I mean, she'll still be, she'll still be a mom, but won't have the same effect because she's not pregnant. And then, so they're all into it, and Brooke has all the designs made on paper for them for their outfits. So Haley's still, doubting if they should really do this. So Brooke, says that they can really help her. So Haley goes in and tells them what's going on with the girl. And then this was funny because Brooke said they need to go to the research lab when it's just looking at a laptop in the kitchen where they already were.
Mm-hmm. Trying to be a little scientist.
Mm-hmm. Detective, yeah. And then Mouth gets to set thinking he's late, but they're all waiting around for the actor to show up.
So this is like 2 days now?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
But I don't know, it seemed like Brooks is like all 1 day.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And then Mouth tells Julian it can't be easy going from directing real actors to directing someone's stoned nephew for a local commercial. And Julian agrees about that, but it's still directing and doing what he, loves. So at least he has that mindset, because who knows how long they've been waiting for this guy, and Julian still hasn't felt defeated yet. And then he jokes about how he still gets to go home too and do what or be with who he really loves.
That was funny because Mouth is like looking at him and he's like, yeah, I mean, be with.
Mm-hmm. And then that's when he asks Mouth how are things going with Millie, and Mouth says she didn't stay over last night, so he doesn't know. Maybe it's better they're taking things slow. And then that's when
I don't think so.
yeah. And then that's when Julian asks Mouth if he's seen his pictures from the wedding yet. Or from the wedding.
Yeah, and
And
he showed him the picture of Mia and how she is ready
Millie, yeah.
to move in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he showed Mouth the pictures of her catching the bouquet. Yeah. And then that's when they find out the actor quit the commercial because apparently he said he was doing the job of a mannequin and didn't understand the scene anyway. So that's when Mouth says what's not to get. It's about taking the next big step in life.
Yeah, so then they look at him like he's our guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he can connect to the message. And then Brooke, Haley, and Quinn look at the hate page that the main girls made of the girl that called the crisis line. I wish they gave her wish they gave her a name because I keep calling her the girl. But
yeah. So this is where they realize she's adopted, and Brooke was like, "Peyton's adopted," and then she was saying like, if they adopt, then she said these bitches would make fun of my kid. It's like, well, I mean, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And then they see other comments too, calling her the girl, who dresses like a boy. That's where they got the slur from. Because they made fun of how maybe her real parents wanted a boy, and that's why they gave her up for adoption. And there's another comment saying she should be an ad for birth control. So just horrible, horrible comments. And then, Haley says that they should call the school, and Quinn says, or they could show up and let those evil little villains know what Mean really is. And Haley tells Quinn the last evil villain she fought shot her and put her in a coma. And Brooke says Haley's right. And then tells Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, like, yes, but then at the same time, she fought her again and won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what Brooke tells her. But Haley regrets saying that now because they spun it into a positive thing and tells them she's made a mistake telling them about the girl. But Brooke tells her to relax. They're not criminals or anything. They're just stuck-up little girls who need to be dealt with, or bitches. And then Quinn brings up that Haley used to be a teacher before, so what would she do, about bullies? And Brooke says Quinn's right, because Haley used to be a teacher while she used to be the stuck-up girl. So these mean girls are no match for them. And then Quinn says she used to be stuck up too, trying to join in, which was funny. And then Alex gets to the studio where Mia already is, and Alex tells her she knows they've had their differences, but hopes they can start over on a professional level.
So do you think that Haley called Alex to come record?
Probably, yeah.
Because they also have a producer in there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, he could have been working with Mia on something, but yeah, probably told him to stay longer. Yeah, so Mia still isn't taking Alex seriously as a musician. She calls her an actress trying to be, pretending to be one. And says how her friend Peyton started this label for real artists. And Alex points out to Mia that she hasn't even heard her sing yet. And Mia says, that's true, but she's heard what that whiny noise is that she calls speaking, and that's enough for her. So Alex tells Mia that she's an amazing musician, even after blowing her off like that, and Mia's annoyed that Alex told her that and was nice. And then Haley asks Jamie if he gets picked on at school, and Jamie says not really, but asks if somebody said that to her, and she tells him no, she's just talking to a girl who does, and she seems sad, so she just wanted to check in on him to see if anyone was bullying him. And Jamie says not anymore. Chuck used to, though, and Haley remembers.
Yeah, and he goes, and now we're friends. It's like, well, not many people become friends with their bullies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they remember everything that happened that day to make it better, with Brooke and Nathan's help as well. And then that's when Nathan asks what's wrong with being a hero. Bullies don't stop unless somebody stands up to them. He should know because he used to be the bully. And Clay says, but sometimes being a hero means sacrificing one cause for the for the good of another, and Nathan says he wishes he could put Kellerman in his place for once. And behind Clay, there's a picture of Kellerman hung on a pole with a dirt on his forehead. So that's how Nathan's been letting his frustration out. And then Kellerman tells his class to trust contracts and not people. And Nathan shakes his head to this. So Kellerman notices and he calls him out and tells him to share what he's thinking about that. So Nathan says he knows one agency that doesn't work like that.
So that's when Clay gets up and goes after Kellerman, which I loved.
Yeah. And proving that it's his agency that actually takes, consideration into the people that they're signing with and not just all business. And him and Kellerman kind of go back and forth, because Kellerman's like, I taught this class for 20 years. I wrote a book about it. I know what I'm talking about, basically.
And that's when Clay is like, well, I'm living it. You're just writing books.
Yep. I like that part. And then he also, Kellerman was talking about giving hugs to the clients too. So Clay adds that in at the last second, which was funny. And then Brooke and Quinn walk out in their outfits with Quinn taking pictures of Brooke on her phone. And Brooke has to tell her to stop from taking a million of them and ask where baby mama is. And Quinn says Haley isn't going with them, and she's starting to have second thoughts herself.
And then scares them.
Yep. Haley pops up in the back seat where they apparently couldn't see her with her green outfit and her pregnant belly somehow.
Well, and then Quinn's like, she's not really up to this, and neither am I. And Brooke's not hearing it. She's making him go along with it.
And then Alex sings in the studio, and the producer hands Mia the headphones for her to listen to Alex. And then Mouth is talking to the camera for the commercial. It's about saying no to drugs and yes to gaining an education. So the previous actor apparently couldn't remember just a couple of lines because he was ironically high himself. And then Alex is still singing while Chase flies Chuck in a plane. And then after, Chase tells Chuck the story of his dad taking him in a plane. And he asks Chuck if he's going to tell his dad about this too, taking him in the plane. And Chuck says no, because his dad lives out of town, so they don't talk much. And when they do, he only likes to hear about the cool stuff. So Chase asks Chuck how often does he see him, and Chuck says he was supposed to see his dad for a weekend last summer, just one weekend too. At that was horrible. But then his fave rock cover band was going to play, so he couldn't pass it up. Not even like the actual band, just a cover band.
Yep. Didn't like it.
If anything, he should have invited Chuck to go with him at least.
Yep. Bond with him.
So then Chase asks Chuck if he ever does anything fun with his mom, and Chuck says she works a lot, so he only sees her at dinner.
I know. I was like, so fun. And then he says dinner, and I was like, I don't really think that goes together. But okay, especially because he has basically also hinted that she's an alcoholic. So, like, it can't be too much fun.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to tell Chase basically no, because she's working and they only see each other at dinner. So yeah, he knew that wasn't fun. But then he does tell Chase to come over to his house. But, then Chase again tells him he can't because he should spend time with his mom, though. And before he can say he wished he could spend time with his mom, Chuck punches him in the stomach again. So I think that was Chuck's way of trying to avoid his feelings of being hurt that Chase told him no again to dinner. And then we see the mean girls making fun of the one girl, cornering her in the woods. But then Brooke, Quinn, Haley show up, and we see like a little fantasy daydream moment where they're all flipping over the bushes, even Haley, who's supposed to be pregnant.
I did not like that because I'm like, yeah, right, she's pregnant. And then they redo it and they just walk, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, it was funny how Haley walked through it in between, and Brooke and Quinn awkwardly step over it.
But it's just like, why did we have to see it again? And then, you know what I mean? Like, I could have done without that.
It was kind of like a superhero effect. Like, they wanted us to see what they kind of were trying to imagine themselves doing in their heads.
Yeah,
and then we see the reality of it.
It's just stupid.
I mean, they are dressed as superheroes, so I'm not surprised that they trying to make it more superhero, like a movie. Like Kick-Ass, maybe that what happened in Kick-Ass 2, we just don't know because we haven't seen it. And then Quinn introduces them to the mean girls, telling them their superhero names. Haley denies hers again, while Brooke fails to have her liquid smoke look stronger than a cigarette's. And one of the mean girls tells the one girl that she found 3 bigger losers than her. And Brooke asks her, what does she think makes her look cool to make fun of other people? And then she makes fun of something of each girl, including man face that contradicts the mean girls calling the one girl the chancellor. So I didn't like that. And then the head mean girl tells the one girl to wait till tomorrow when the old crazy ladies aren't there.
Yeah, so they're getting called old and everything else.
Mm-hmm. And then that's when Haley stops us by calling out the mean girl's name, Nikki. And, Nikki's thrown off by this. And Brooke says that's Haley's superpower. And then she starts making up a story about how Haley got these powers. So Haley cuts her off to be real and honest and tells Nikki that she knows she was picked on all freshman year for being the new girl.
Yeah, so then Haley just sort of like goes down the line and talks to each one of them.
Yep, and threatens to ruin their futures by telling like college deans what they're doing.
Which is crazy because like it's not Haley's kid that she needs to get involved. And don't you think like those kids would run home and tell their parents what these 3 grown women are doing?
Maybe, unless they didn't want to get in trouble for picking on this girl either.
Yeah, but have you ever realized like the bullies, their parents are also bullies?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah. And we know that the Nikki girl was also being picked on, so it's just hurt people hurting other people. And then, so the girls feel threatened enough by that, and they decide to leave. And they say they can't be up them anyhow because one of them is pregnant. So Brooke was right about the baby being a shield. And then it was funny because Quinn was going crazy with her camera phones or camera.
Yeah, she was a little too much.
Mm-hmm. And then Quinn asks Haley, how does she know the girls' names? And Haley says she was a teacher and she still has some friends at the school.
Yeah, and so let's ruin the privacy of them.
I mean, who knows what would have happened if they kept going. So at least
I'm just saying, like, you can't legally go out and give information like that.
Yeah, that part, yeah. And Brooke calls Haley a mastermind, so Haley likes that name better as her superhero name. And then that's when the girl recognizes Haley as Mrs. Scott. And Haley tells her that things are going to get better, and high school is just full of insecure kids who are going to make fun of her for no reason, because they used to make fun of her for being smart and dressing weird, which was funny for her to say while wearing a superhero costume.
Mm-hmm.
And then tells the girl no matter how different she is, she'll always find people who accept her.
Yeah, and Brooke is like, yeah, that's right. It's like, you're the one that picked on her.
Mm-hmm. And then the girl asks him for a favor. And then we see Nathan and Clay sitting in the car, and Nathan tells Clay he can't be the hero, but sometimes he can. And Clay tells him he's actually learning, but not, that he's not nearly as dumb as Kellerman thinks he is. He can make fun of him for all he wants, but leave Fortitude alone. And Nathan says there might be backlash to this, but it was worth it. And Clay says the world needs all the heroes they can get. And then that's when they see the 3 girls cross the street in front of them, still wearing their costumes.
They're like laughing. It's like they're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, like little kids. And Brooke tries to use her smoke again to make it kind of look like they disappeared, but of course that doesn't work. But the guys still think it's funny. And then Chase drops off Chuck at home again, and he tells him thanks for hanging out with him.
He's been hanging out with them every day.
Yeah, is that normal, or is this supposed to be like a couple of times a week, or?
I don't know. I would think a couple times a week. I wouldn't think every day, but this seems like an everyday thing.
Right. At least he's keeping him busy with, doing something. Definitely seems like he needs to do something else every day out of the house. And then Chase thinks that Chuck is going to hit him again after saying something nice to him. So he braces himself, but Chuck hugs him instead.
That was my thing, was like through that whole episode, it was like he kept punching him. And then when I got to this one, I was like, oh, he's going to be nice, until the end.
Yeah. And then that's when Chuck's mom steps out of the house, and she recognizes Chase as her bartender. And Chuck corrects her this time as the bar manager and also a pilot. And Chase tells Chuck that he's his pilot, so I guess he is pretty important. And then asks Chuck if he can still join him for dinner. And Chuck tells him that he can, and as payback, Chase gives Chuck a wedgie while yelling Chase and tells him he just got Big Brother. So now they're definitely creating a bond here. And then Mia asks Alex if she still wants to hear what she thinks of her singing, and Alex says it depends if she still thinks she sucks. And Mia says, as a person, yes, but as a musician, she's surprisingly good. And Alex says that means a lot coming from her. So Mia tells Alex how Peyton and Haley gave her the chance to sing, but lately she hasn't been singing. She's been fighting with her and trying to get Chase to like her. And she let herself become the unhappy girl she used to be. But watching Alex just now reminded her of how she feels every time she sings, and she loves it and she needs to get back to it.
Yep.
So that's her way of announcing that she's going to be leaving again on tour.
Yeah, because she's like, I'm going on tour. It's like, well,
Mhm.
because Alex is like, oh, you're trying to take my studio time. No, I'm going on tour. It's like, okay, normally you'd have like promotions and you'd have to ask like where you should go, but okay.
Yeah, plan it out, yeah. But tells Alex to keep singing, so at least she approves now and isn't going to be in her way.
But also, it's not her label to approve anything.
Right. Yeah, it was Haley's call.
Mm-hmm.
And then Millie and Mouth celebrate him being back on TV with having dinner together. And Mouth says it felt good, but not for the reason he thought it would. The whole time he was doing it, he wasn't thinking how he's back on, in front of the camera. He was thinking how he couldn't wait to tell her all about it. And before, he was scared of messing things up if they lived together again, but got even more scared when she didn't stay over last night because she's been over every night.
Yeah, so
they
now he wants to move in.
Yep.
And he said, move in to, tomorrow or even tonight. It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, is that too fast? And then they kiss.
Yeah.
So clearly not, because she's been waiting for you to say it.
Mm-hmm. And that's when Skills gets up from the couch, don't know if he was sleeping or not, and grabs some food from one of their plates right in between them. And then Haley, Quinn, and Brooke took a picture of that girl, and she's looking at it on her laptop. And because it was like a group photo with all of them, I think. And then Haley gets home, and she asks Nathan if he told him about her superhero outfit, Jamie.
And
Nathan,
he's like, of course I did.
yeah.
So then she's all embarrassed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and tries to explain about what happened at the crisis center.
Until she like almost falls over.
Yep, because she was trying to like do like a little sexy move. So he has to get up out of bed to try to catch her.
It was weird when he said, you got to be careful in your condition.
Yeah.
I was
Pregnancy.
like,
Yeah.
what? Like it just, the word condition.
Yeah, like it's kind of sound like something bad.
Yeah, like you got like a disease.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, she's just pregnant.
Right.
Like people get pregnant every day.
Mm-hmm. And then Haley tells him not to use her real name because he called her Super Haley. Her name is Mastermind. And laughs evilly. And then Clay pretends to need help from Super Quinn with his crossword puzzle. So Quinn tells him that it's Shutterbug now. And he asks if they had fun, and Quinn says they did, but it wasn't about that. It was about righting wrongs, correcting injustices, and being total badasses. And Clay says he thought that Super Quinn or Shutterbug only came out on Halloween or when she's feeling frisky, and Quinn adds, or when she's bored. And then she says since someone didn't want to go bungee jumping with her, she had to find something else to entertain herself with. So Clay understands that it's nice to feel like a hero every once in a while, and then mentions he did something heroic today himself, although he didn't look as sexy as she did. And Quinn doubts that. And then Clay teases her. And, like Brooke and Julian earlier, they end up in bed. And then Brooke asks Julian as hubby Baker, how was his day? And he says it was great. The college is happy.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And, Mouth's happy. He's happy.
And then it was funny because he's like, oh, like, did you do anything fun today? She has her glasses on and she's like, nope. She's like, just an average, ordinary, mild-mannered citizen. And I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. So like the other two couples that, like they got caught. And then here you got Brooke just lying. No, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, and then breaks the fourth wall by blinking to the TV audience.
Okay, what was up with this? Because then it goes into her character, her superhero character, and then it talks about oh, like OTH, which obviously is a show, and then it's saying like the channel and everything, and I'm like, in the time, and I'm like,
Yeah, because it made sense how she was like pretending to be Clark's Superman, like her own alter ego, to keep her identity a secret from Julian. But then she broke the fourth wall too much, was saying that they're like, One Tree Hill, like she's aware she's on a show. Yeah, that was too much.
that's what I mean. It's like it's one thing to be all cutesy, like end it with like her character, her superhero character, but like to put that in there of OTH, like no, like why?
Mhm.
Like why are we doing that?
Right.
I mean, was it because they needed more viewers? I don't know. It was just annoying though, because I was like,
hmm
it's not needed. Like these characters are supposed to be living normal lives every day, not a fantasy of this, you know? So I was like,
hmm
that doesn't make any sense. Like if this was a supernatural show, then okay. But like it's not.
Yeah, unless this is the way they ended Kick Ass. I don't know. That could be it too.
I know, but it doesn't have anything to do with the show. You know what I mean? Like they shouldn't if they want to go and make the little um superhero show, that's what they should go do. But like the superhero show and this show are two very different things. So that's why I don't think it was needed. Just like did they go into everything when, Haley was dressed in the pink dress from what is it?
16
60.
Candles.
Yes, it's like okay, but we didn't have to go they didn't go too far with that. You know what I mean? Here they went too far.
hmm
And that's what I mean. It's like we could have ended it with her as a little, superhero cartoon, cool, and then be done.
Right.
Not this.
hmm
Like actually talking about the show. That's what I mean. Like it could have been like a good night or whatever, like a wink or something as a character, but not this, you know?
hmm
Not actually talking about the show. That's just stupid. Um, so then what was your high and low?
Um, the high was just the girls and Clay helping people out with the one girl from the crisis center and Clay helping out Nathan because um now we know that Kellerman wasn't just picking on Nathan. It was like at least a handful of other students too. So
Do you think
uh,
it was because maybe it was all the athletes?
maybe, I don't know.
Because remember, they did say that he hated the athletes
Yeah,
because they were getting,
special treatment or something.
yeah, like basically you got to pass them so they can play. So I
hmm
think he just hates out them all. Like they're not trying hard like the rest of the class has to be.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. I forgot about that. And I didn't really look at the guys to see if they look like they could be athletes or not. Um, yeah, so I just liked seeing Clay put Kellerman in his place for this episode.
And then what'd you say your low was?
I didn't say that. The low was seeing how I guess the home life is for Chuck, really, because we knew about his mom, but we didn't know much about his dad till now. So, and like we didn't even know that his dad was gone most of the time either. So he's basically AWOL, like Brooke's dad or Julian's dad even.
Or even Peyton's dad.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the low was watching Chuck basically have to lie.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's not like Chase was asking like deep questions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was still surface level questions.
Right.
But he still had a lie for her as his mother. Like that's just
Mm-hmm.
annoying. Um, and also one of the low was how Mia was treating Alex. Like Alex is just trying to move on with her life
Mm-hmm.
the best way she knows how. And
Right.
Mia is not being nice. So I didn't care for that either. Because again, it's not your studio. Like you're just working there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the high I mean, it was cute to see the girls together, but I mean, Brooke and Quinn being a little too into this was a little weird, but it was cute to see them all together.
Mm-hmm.
And then what would you rate it?
Like an 8.
I was gonna say 8.5.
Yeah, because not much happened, and yeah, I don't know, it was a little out of place with Brooke and the narrating and stuff like that. Like, it was a different kind of narration this time. So just kind of like the ending, like we said too, just kind of took us out of the show a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And then who was your best and worst?
The worst were the mean girls that were being mean to this one girl, which I still don't think they said her name even at the end. Because it's one thing for them to bully the girl at school, but to make that page where the girl can't really avoid their words, that's even worse than anything. And then the best, I put the superhero girls, but mostly Haley, because she was the one that got down to find out who the girls were, just to get them to stop messing with this one girl. So
yeah, those mean girls, definitely the worst. And then I picked the best was Clay. Because he was kind of trying to help everybody in the class, not just Nathan.
mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I feel like that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't have to.
Right.
But he did, because he's a
Yeah.
good friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's next episode?
Episode 15, Valentine's Day is over. So that doesn't sound good.
I know that already sounds like, okay, the episode's over.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep. And see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.